Hello, thank you for stopping by Kyle's blog. This is Kyle's 81st video. In this video here, I'm going to be in the book of 1 Chronicles chapter 4, beginning with verse 9. And in this video, I'm going to speak on deliverance from a curse. That is, those things that would hinder us and hinder the life of God flowing through us to help ourselves, but even to help others. And even really that would hinder us from really working the work of God in His kingdom. So, and then I'm going to give the steps really in terms of the deliverance from these curses and things that would be on our lives, whether we've done anything or whether they've just simply been put upon us even though we haven't even done anything to deserve them. So in saying that, I'm going to start reading here. 1 Chronicles 4 verse 9 says, "And Jabez was more honorable than his brethren, and his mother called his name Jabez, saying, Because I bear him with sorrow. And Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, Oh, that thou wouldest bless me indeed, and enlarge my coast, and that thine hand might be with me, and that thou wouldest keep me from evil, that it may not grieve me. And God granted him that which he requested." And God granted Jabez that which he requested from God. And why was that? Well, we're going to show the steps here of what Jabez did. Poor Jabez, we see in verse 9, was simply born, and his name was called after because his mother bore him in pain or sorrow. Jabez didn't even do anything to deserve it, but the poor guy was born with a curse put upon him. And the poor guy didn't do anything to deserve it, like I said. Jabez was an honorable man, though, and he truly saw deliverance from this. So we're going to see just exactly what he did and how we can take this and apply it to our own lives, expecting God to deliver us from these things that would hinder our lives and His life flowing through us. The first thing that Jabez did, we see in verse 10, he called on the God of Israel. If any of us wish any form of deliverance from God, we have to turn towards God, not looking at ourselves for any form of deliverance, but look towards God to be the one who delivers us. Jabez called on the God of Israel. Turn to God in prayer. Make that connection and start that connection with God and begin to speak with Him, seeking Him. The next thing that Jabez does is he says, Oh, that thou wouldest bless me indeed. When we turn to God in prayer, we have to turn to Him expecting to receive that blessing from God. Expect to receive that good from God. God is not the one who brings curses upon us, whether we have done anything to deserve them or not. Therefore, look to God and expect to receive that blessing. And remember when you pray to Him that He is, that He exists, that He is real, and that He is a rewarder of those that diligently seek Him. Turn to God and expect to receive that blessing. He goes on to say, and enlarge my coast. If there's anything that a curse or any form of a life hindrance is in our lives, it makes us bound in. And the devil wishes to keep us bound in. The devil wishes to keep us from having our lives be that shining light of Jesus Christ within us, or else we might be free, and that light may shine forth on somebody else, and then somebody else may be free. Therefore, ask God to enlarge your coast, to enlarge your borders, that you may shine out and be much more that you are right now. For yourself, yeah, for yourself, it's great to be delivered and to have a life of great expectancy and joy and hope and everything else. But even for somebody else, for all the other people out there who are bound in with different forms of bondages and who are stuck in terms of things that the devil wishes to keep them stuck and bound in. Turn to God, expect for Him to bless you and expect for Him to enlarge your coast, your borders, to bring you into a place where you're in a broad, wide land, a place of complete victory and freedom in Jesus Christ. He goes on to say, and that thine hand might be with me, and that thou wouldest keep me from evil. When we walk with God, let all your decisions and everything else be with God. Take God with you when you walk. God is with you if you're saved. Jesus Christ is within you, certainly. But let Him be the deciding factor. Let everything you do be Him. Walk the walk of Jesus Christ. Jabez desired to have God with him. Desire to have God with you when you walk. Turn towards Him and let your life be the life of Jesus Christ. Submit to Him and surrender. If you truly wish to walk in the blessing of God, you have to stick and walk truly with God and let Him lead you. Don't get stuck on your own personal understandings in things of life, but let God be the one who directs your paths. Search God from within your heart in different things that you face. and let God lead you and direct you. That you would keep me from evil, that it may not grieve me. And these things would bring us to the place that we would no longer be grieved. And God granted him that which he requested. So how do we take then these steps to a form of deliverance, to be free from these curses and other things that would bind us up in life? For one, turn towards God in prayer. Seek God. And when you seek God, expect for God to bless you. Look for that blessing from God. So one, turn to God in prayer. Two, expect that blessing. Three, be ready for that change. Expect for God to enlarge your borders and to bring you out of a place of bondage and into a much better place of complete freedom and liberty in Jesus Christ. He will bring you out and enlarge your borders so that you yourself may be free, but that also you may touch somebody else's life. And take God with you always. Be ready and tell God that you wish for God to be with you. And take God with you. Open your heart and keep your heart open for God. Perhaps may have you to speak to somebody and then and share your life with somebody else, such as a form of testimony. And great deliverance comes from testimony, believe it or not. So one, turn towards God in prayer. Look for a blessing from God. And three, be ready for change. Expect for God to enlarge your borders. And four, take God with you and keep yourself open to God out in the workplace and anywhere else when you're out in the world. And five, in doing so, you will not be grieved any longer, that it may not grieve me. Five, that is, receive that healing from God. Take these steps and apply them to your own life if you expect to receive deliverance from God. Turn towards him and believe that he is a God who rewards those who seek him. You don't have to receive any form of curse or any other type of ungodly thing that we don't have to have through Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ himself became a curse for us so that we don't have to live bound up. But he came to save those who were brokenhearted. He came to save those who were oppressed by things in the world, by people, yes, but even by things inside of us that would hinder our lives from flowing, deep bondages that we would have. These things also Christ has already saved us from. Therefore believe in him and turn towards him and receive that deliverance and that salvation through Jesus Christ. Believe on him. I thank you for stopping by Kyle's blog. God bless. Have a great week.